Now, when you eat an avocado, you are supporting the Mexican cartel. Were you raised by wolves? You don't know how to ripen up avocados? I'll go over someone's house. They got avocados. I mean, they look like an old person's nutsack. They look like, grapes that have been sitting out in the middle of the Sahara Desert. So you think you're slick with your avocado toast, huh? Well, it turns out you might be the consumer, the beneficiary of a long-standing, bloody Mexican cartel war over those delicious, green, sumptuous, saturated fat, veggie fruit things we call avocados. That's right, goddammit. Look at this article we got today. Inside the bloody cartel war for Mexico's multi-billion-dollar avocado industry. Let's shift this over here. So this is a real long article that was written, I believe, in the Los Angeles Times, talking about the cartel war over the cash crop avocados. And it's pretty mind-blowing, man. It's pretty mind-blowing to understand what is really happening in Mexico. And I'm not here to say that just because I read this article, like I fully grasp the depth and the corruption of what these cartels are. But now it's going to be very hard for me to want to eat Mexican avocados. That's all I'm going to say. Now, lucky for me, I live in a beautiful tropical place back here, Puerto Rico, where they grow their own avocados, and I'll be okay. There's avocados, the Haas ones from Mexico. We get the Florida ones, but then we get some really good avocados here in Puerto Rico. But I have spent a lot of time eating those Mexican, I believe it's the Haas ones, right? The Haas avocados. And I really like those ones. I really like Mexican avocados. But it turns out the Mexican drug cartels are getting their feet wet with the avocado industry, and it would make sense because the avocado industry is a billion-dollar industry. We think that the cartels just want to be in on like the real shady things, like drugs and guns and these sorts of things. But no, like they're getting in wherever the money is. And in this case, one of Mexico's biggest exports, believe it or not, are avocados. And avocado consumption, it actually says in this article, let me see if I can find the number here of how much avocado consumption has gone up here. Let's see if we can do consumption. Between 2001 and 2018, I'll bring it up here. So between 2001 and 2018, average U.S. consumption increased from 2 pounds per person to nearly 7.5 pounds per person. I mean, that's a huge difference, right? That is a big jump in the popularity of avocados. That's literally like, 20 years ago, you would have an avocado on accident. You went to a Mexican restaurant and they just so happen to put a little bit of avocado, on a taco or like as part of a bigger meal. You just had maybe an avocado slice. But now people are eating full-on whole avocados, avocado toast, avocado on salads, avocado. It's like the, perfectly touted health food. It's like the beautiful median of like this keto high fat world and then the opposite end, veganism. We know the ketos and the vegans, they fight to the death on the battlefield of social media. Every single day it gets uglier and uglier. But the one thing that both sides can agree on are avocados. It's like the olive tree to both of these warring factions. It's like, well, the keto people are like, well, we love us a good avocado because it's full of saturated fat, and it's a veggie, so we can feel like, hey, we're not totally just degenerate carnivores. But then on the other side, it's like you have the vegan people, and I mean the vegans just smashing avocados because they're nutrient deprived, they're fat deprived, their gallbladder needs to release bile. They're just, trying to live off of beans and wheat and soy, and an avocado is a nice mix up, and it's also green because anything green on a vegan diet is fair game. So, yeah, we are full on, knees deep into avocados here. And, a lot of people buy avocados, and I would say maybe they're calculating the 7.5 pounds. thinking that this is how much people eat. No, I would say probably at least 1.5 pounds of that is thrown away as completely unedible because people just don't know how to time out their avocados. Some people's avocado game is mad weak in this country. The amount of just garbage avocados I see out there that have just been sitting out too long. It's like, look, man, you get it green, you get it while it's still hard, you give it a couple days in a nice, dark, cool area. It cools down, not cool, but like dry, dark, somewhat humid area. It ripens up, and then you put it in the fridge. You know, I'll go over someone's house. They got avocados. I mean, they look like an old person's nutsack. They look like, grapes that have been sitting out in the middle of the Sahara Desert. Like, what are you doing? Were you raised by wolves? You don't know how to grow. You don't know how to ripen up avocados. But still, I mean, that's almost a 4 times increase, a 400% increase in the amount that the average person consumes, right? So, again, 20 years ago, avocados were kind of fringe. Not a lot of people ate them. You'd be hard-pressed to see somebody with an avocado. And now it's like even the person who you didn't think would be into any vegetable will eat avocados. And it's all controlled by the Mexican cartels down in Mexico, which is really fucked up. I mean, to the point where they're going to farmers and they're basically seizing control of farms and murdering farmers down there. They've got anybody who goes against them. I mean, their families are at risk. It's really, really ugly. It's really brutal. And the Mexican government have no recourse. The Mexican government has no idea what to do about these cartels. It's like, 100 years ago when the mafia essentially, and probably still does, ran American, I shouldn't say 100 years ago. This is like 50 years ago, maybe even 40 years ago, into the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s. I mean, the mafia ran the American government. And it's exactly what's going on in Mexico. And so it's like you find a good crop that comes out of Mexico, bam, avocados. To be honest with you, there's no reason we should be buying avocados from Mexico. We could grow avocado. We do grow avocados here. We grow them in Florida. We should keep them. They should be grown in Florida. I know in California, they're having huge problems with droughts and dry weather because they're not supposed to grow avocados there, or at least avocados to feed the whole country. We shouldn't be relying on a state that has a pretty bad water table that is, for the most part, half of the state is dry, half of the state's desert. We shouldn't be relying on them for avocados. We got Florida, we got Puerto Rico. You can export avocados out of. We got all these tropical regions here that you have plenty of water to grow this avocado crop. Why are we relying on Mexico to trade a crop that we know is completely corrupted? I'm sure this has to do with NAFTA and these international trade agreements. Then again, this is not my expertise, but I'm just kind of spitballing ideas. But the fact that now when you eat an avocado, you are fucking supporting the Mexican cartel. It's like you can't, Jesus Christ, you can't eat avocados, you can't do drugs. Like what do we have left, Mexico? What do we have left? I just want, some tortillas. Oh, can't eat those anymore. Controlled by the cartel. Can't watch Mexican porn anymore. Controlled by the cartel. Fuck, it's just like you cannot support Mexico in anything now. Jesus Christ. It comes to avocados, I can't feel comfortable now eating an avocado from Mexico, knowing that this is going on. I can't buy my wife a diamond necklace because I know the diamond was paid for in blood in Africa or wherever. So it's like, what can we use that isn't built on violence and slavery? I thought avocados might be the saving grace. Nope, definitely not. Tomatoes, probably not. Bananas, definitely not. I think bananas come from Chile or Argentina, and that's controlled through a slave trade and underpaying farmers. It's just, oh, fuck. You can't win. You can't win trying to be an a-hole, but do your goddamn best. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Are you a avocado lover and this just ruins all your brunch plans? Or do you not really care and you're not going to let any Mexican cartel stand between you and some avocado toast, the most overrated brunch food of all time? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed the video, remember to smash that like button, share it with all the people you know and love on social media, and I will catch you on the next video. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Peace.